wait till the night before Christmas to be good.
Alright, and in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 8th episode of the Prehistoric Podcast. Number 8 in our 12 podcasts of Christmas series. 2/3 of the way there, gentlemen. Almost done.
I'm very excited, and as usual, I'm Brad Peterson.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl.
And I am Francois Denision.
This evening we got lots of stuff to talk about. Took us a while to get the camera set up, but I think this is going to be the best looking podcast so far.
Yeah, we actually spent about, 2.5 hours lighting this one.
Yeah,
Should look good. If it doesn't, I'm embarrassed because I'm trying my best here.
It's the pinnacle of what we can achieve at this point in time. So, first off, I'd like to start the podcast by talking a little bit about what we did this afternoon, or early morning this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
The boys have decided that it's really funny that I am neurotic about things that are scary and thrillers. So they have decided that we should start a new series called Brad Plays, kind of like Let's Play.
Brad plays or Brad watches.
It's not kind of like Let's Play. It is a Let's Play. It's just
Let's play.
just-
Well, no, because a Let's Play is informative and interesting, and this is just a ridicule of a human being, pointing out his biggest flaws and then exploiting them in front of a large group of people for everyone to see. So if you're really interested in watching me cower like a, I don't want to say a preteen girl because that gives them a bad name by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, on today's episode, I played Outlast, and it's fucking terrifying. Apparently the video is pretty funny. I am too scared to watch it, but I think you guys enjoyed yourselves. Is that correct?
Yeah,
I actually can't wait to edit it.
it was very fun. I actually ended up. I'm usually fine, but then because Brad got so scared and yelled, his loud yelling made me jump several times in the video, which I think is quite funny also. So.
And I was kind of at an unfair advantage because I've already played the game, so I mean I knew where all the jump scares were, so I was like waiting and it was good. It was really funny. I can't wait to do.
They have intended scares in the game that scared me, obviously, but the stuff that was not intended to scare me, like to point stuff out and to show me how, like when the controls popped up, it was really terrifying and stuff. So definitely something to pay attention to. I don't know. Hopefully, we do some other kind of Let's Plays with you guys and.
But not scary games that we just enjoy. Me and Andrew will probably play, and Brad can take a turn too. But I mean, every terrifying video game that'll be Brad's.
Oh, we should do a Let's Play of us playing against people in NHL and our frustrated reactions and how mad we get at each other. I think that'd be really funny.
That'd be cool. We could do tournaments.
Yeah.
You invite some guests over to be in tournaments. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
And it's also something that's so Canadian and specifically Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
that it kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But it hurts.
Play some chell with the boys. Have a few brews.
Yeah,
play some chell with the boys.
Yeah.
So I've got a whole list of games already that I want Brad to play in the future. We just started Outlast. So I mean he's probably maybe an 8th.
And we don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be finishing it.
He will be.
No, let's make sure we don't.
You'll be doing at least one more.
We had a board meeting recently where we kind of discussed the future of the company and that it was brought up and we had decided that indeed Brad will be finishing all of Outlast.
I was going to say, crazily enough, it only takes a two-thirds vote to decide something.
I'll have a fucking lobotomy on Christmas, and that's what it takes to not finish that goddamn game.
Anyways,
we'll call it Vegetable Plays.
Vegetable Plays.
It's like our buddy Vegetable.
Anyways, some more games that I have written down here. Alien Isolation just came out. I haven't even played it. I'm really excited to play it. I think we could actually take turns playing that one and just go through the whole campaign. That'd be fun. Amnesia 1 and 2. I'd rather you play 2, Machine for Pigs, because that one's terrifying. We don't have a PlayStation 4, but you were talking about maybe getting a PlayStation 4 in the future sometime. The PT demo, if anybody's heard of that, it's the playable trailer, basically a demo.
Playable teaser.
What they call it, playable? Is it playable teaser? They said. Okay. Anyways, playable teaser for the new Silent Hill game, Silent Hills. It up to this point is the scariest thing. Like Outlast is a close second, but the PT trailer is the scariest thing I've ever played in my life. It is bloody terrifying. Condemned, which
Yeah,
is
Condemned, the
which is
original
something
Condemned.
that haunts Andrew
Oh.
to this day.
It was so terrifying.
And then if we can figure out how to capture stuff on phones, Five Nights at Freddy's, because I think that might be funny to see you throw a phone across.
Is that the
room.
game where the bears come, or the,
Come to life? Yeah.
and then you got to keep shining the door and shake the, I'm not fucking playing that. So
Yes,
fuck
you are.
No, fuck
Yeah,
off.
100% you are. Everything that you say, I'm not fucking playing that. That's the one we most want.
We
to play.
need when we put the first one out, if we get enough views, that's the big thing. If we get enough views and it's successful enough, there will be literally no reason for Brad not to do it.
Yeah.
So
So if
Okay,
you're
so
watching this podcast, definitely watch our Let's Play Outlast video. Like it, comment,
most importantly, share the hell out of it.
share the hell out of it, because
Okay,
I mean that's
here's
the one that's really
stipulation I've
important.
given the guys. First of all, I probably won't finish all the same way because I hate them. I hate them very much. But if we can get 25 likes, 500 views, and 5 comments, then I will play another game. But Let's Play might possibly die if that doesn't happen. Because I'm not doing it so the two of you can just fucking laugh at me. Fuck off, I'm not.
The thing is, it would be such great content for the future and our future audience.
The future, yeah. I won't have
Like
a fucking
I
future
said.
because I'll fucking drown myself in the bathtub.
Well, I also said if you could find something that we, either of us equally hates and will overreact to, I'll do it because it would be funny. But you just have to find that thing and tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Personally.
Like, I mean, if you can organize a cage dive with me and a great white shark, I'll do it. I mean, I'll kill myself in the like I would cut my throat and die, but I would do it.
I really wanted to do that when I
If
went
it's
to
funny.
Africa. I was
Cage
signed
diving?
up to go cage diving.
See, I would sign up for it, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm so scared, but I'm gonna confront my fear." The moment I get in the water, I know I would have a mental breakdown. Like, absolutely.
I was honestly more worried about the claustrophobia of being in a cage and what that would do. I mean, but then I found out. Unfortunately, weather was too shitty to even go. But I found out as we were getting ready to go that it's a very large cage. Several people go in. You're not very enclosed.
No, the top is totally open.
Top is totally open, and also it's one of the ones where.
So they can just go in the top, snap
No,
you.
actually, it's one of the ones. The top is closed,
Oh.
but it's a high top, and it's got like a middle, like viewing thing, and the water only comes up to here on you,
Oh, wow.
and you stand in the cage and you can dive down
Oh,
to
you
look
can,
at them.
oh, okay, cool.
So it's not like you're totally submerged in a scuba thing. It's just a snorkeling.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So we'll have to do that at some point because that would be awesome.
Does anybody have an article they want to bring up first, or do they want me to?
Yes, I actually do. I have something I would like to talk about.
Okay. Perfect.
So the other day, I saw a couple things on Facebook. I'm not going to name names, but something just a personal pet peeve of mine about social media. Typical uninformed person posting an article that doesn't make any sense, and so I'll just read you the whole post here. Just kind of give you an example. The post says, "Wow, Bill Gates on another power trip while helping the world again and accelerating our destruction as a species. So sad." And the article is entitled, "GMO bananas are coming to a supermarket near you, thanks to Bill Gates." And I'm going to skim through the article and read a couple things. The article actually doesn't say, I'm supposed to say actually twice, doesn't say anything negative about these bananas. It just kind of is an overview of the good things they do. So, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation are aggressively funding development of genetically modified bananas to fight third world hunger and malnutrition.
Sounds good.
James Dale, the director for the Centre of Tropical Crops and Biocommodities at Queensland University of Technology in Australia, says he's devoted a number of years to the creation of a better banana. Blah blah blah. So that's kind of the touted as a super banana. The GM banana in question has been genetically modified to contain extra beta carotene, a nutrient the body uses to produce vitamin A. The results of the human trials are designed to support the release of the GM bananas into Ugandan farming and food systems. So essentially, then it just goes on to talk about how it's more resilient, how it actually, this beta carotene, it actually helps your body produce more vitamins essentially, and stave off malnutrition just by eating this one food source. And it actually doesn't say anything negative about these bananas.
But Andrew, aren't all GMO foods bad?
That is not the case, actually.
What? Tell me more.
Obviously, we haven't found a distinctive link yet between, or as to what the possible health effects of genetically modified organisms are. There are some studies that say specific genetically modified crops can lead to cancer and other things, but it's not substantiated fully. It's not obviously not widely accepted. I know in Europe and a couple other places, if it's genetically modified, it has to say on the packaging. We don't have that in Canada. I'm not sure how I feel about that. How do you guys feel? I mean, that's kind of an issue that's sort of a hot button issue around genetically modified stuff.
Would they have to put it on the package?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I
mean,
I think the only argument I see against it is that it's, as soon as it becomes something you have to put on the package, people automatically assume that it's negative as opposed, which maybe it is. I mean, it's entirely possible, but
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's. I think yes, put it on the package. If people want to keep being uninformed, fucking be uninformed. Be stupid if you want to be. That's your it's free will. But I mean, like, once again, it's just like if people want it on the package, like why not?
My biggest contention here is that people are far too invested in the idea of natural foods, and Andrew and I had a discussion earlier today, organic and natural foods.
Mm-hmm.
And as most people who watch the podcast know, I grew up in a farming community, and Francois did as well, but you're obviously not as tied to it as I am. We can't even purchase seed that hasn't been genetically modified.
Mm.
Everything, all crops we produce have been at least somewhat genetically modified, whether it's to increase yield or to fight disease or help against disease resistance or to make it immune to maybe a chemical spray that's put onto it that will kill other weeds and then not kill the crop. We live in a world where the population growth has gotten so out of hand and starvation is worldwide, and the amount of arable land that we have left that has not been broken is very, very limited. I actually had a class on this semester. To the point where if we don't start doing something by genetically modifying to increase yield and increase quality, we're going to have a serious problem on our hands. And we need to look at the difference between long-term health effects and things might be bad. Probably not, but it doesn't have like bacon on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not natural.
But
It's like
I like it when it has bacon.
I only eat grains that a small Peruvian man has massaged and then crushed with a rolling pin, but the rolling pin has to be made of granite. Yeah, so and the beans have to be sung to.
If it's not, the thing is, if it's not granite, that contaminates the whole thing.
It's no, it might as well be uranium.
I actually used to hear about this all the fucking time. My ex-girlfriend, she had some friends who they would not they were the, like, I don't mind vegans, don't mind vegetarians, but they were the wrong types of vegans, vegetarians, where it's like totally uneducated vegan, vegetarian, which is like, I'm a vegan because human beings were never meant to eat meat. It's like, actually a quick Google completely disproves your theory. Like, that's stupid. It's like somebody told her one day, some guy on the street was just like, did you know humans weren't meant to eat meat? And then she's like, oh, I'm going to be vegan forever. Totally uneducated. So anyways, basically these are the types of people who jump on these bandwagons, the GMO, what was the one recently that everybody, gluten. Everybody jumped on the gluten bandwagon. Gluten was evil and everybody hated gluten.
That's another thing.
So they jumped on all these bandwagons. So anyways, her friends hated GMOs. And probably once or twice a day, she would go on Facebook, see her friends posted this stuff. And then she would start raving about GMOs. And basically, her whole argument was, you say GMO, you say genetically modified organism, people think mouse with an ear on the back of it. Yeah. That's what people think. It's like, that's not good, that's evil. Why
playing God.
You're playing God. It's like, actually, we're just making a yield of crop that survives slightly better in this type of weather. Or like, it yields.
And it's generally just blending of two different
it's not
two
even
different strains of crop. Like, it's not an unnatural thing. Like, this breeding could happen in natural, but it's forcing nature.
Mm-hmm.
Another terrible argument that I heard, that I told Andrew about this one.
Oh God!
You sent me that hippie milk thing.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
What did the meme say?
It won't drink milk because it has hormones in it. Takes LSD from strangers at a music festival.
Yeah. So this girl approached me and she said, I was having a nice cold glass of skim milk. Nothing better than a good cold glass. And she said to me, did you know that human beings are the only creatures on this planet that drink the milk of other animals? And I said, did you know that human beings are the only species on the planet with organized government and automatic weapons and healthcare and global trade organizations and internet and smartphones and cameras and books and literature and culture?
It's pronounced literature.
Literature. Had only simians and other creatures began to feast upon the milk of their brethren species, they too would have organized governments and quasi-theories and religion, but nay, they did not feast upon the milk of the brethren, and they were forced to stay in their dens and burrows.
No, that's like, here's a shout out to Thomas Renren again. Me and Thomas always have a conversation where it's like, I'll say, we'll be talking about whatever, human rights and killing animals and like eating them and cattle and whatever. And then I'll always say, he'll be like, mankind thinks he has dominion over the world. And it's like, well, we kind of do. It's like, I'm like, our brains are, we're smarter than they are. And then Thomas is always like, we're not smarter than they are. What proof do you have they're smart? Because we have guns and we have internet, we're smarter than they? Yes, but I see that you're going to be very difficult and that you don't want to hear that. So it's like...
And then what is it like? Oh, what defines being smart?
Smart, yes. What defines being smart?
Being
it's
smart?
like, and then he's like, chimps are smarter than we because they're not destroying the planet. It's like, I don't think that's true. I think the fact that we can destroy the planet and know we're destroying the planet and not change means we're smarter. Means like, and the other thing is like, and then I'll say we're more highly evolved, and he's like, no, we are not more highly evolved. They've been on the planet just as long as we have. They are just as highly evolved as we are. It's like, you know exactly what I'm saying.
If you have a video taken of yourself where you grab your penis and you start urinating and then you tip your penis back up into your mouth to drink your own urine and then fall off a branch, because I've seen that exact video and most of you have too, you're not as highly evolved as I am. And if I'm going to do that, it's only because I'm drunk. Really fucking drunk. No, I can't stand those arguments. I absolutely can't stand it.
Well, I actually just pulled up an article that I read a while back when Francois mentioned the whole gluten thing. There's a lot of things now that suggest that the whole gluten sense, like gluten, not to be clear, not someone who is allergic to gluten, a celiac who has a celiac disease.
Yeah.
People who have gluten sensitivity, total bullshit.
No,
it's actually what is called the nocebo effect.
Well, Andrew, why don't you explain to us what the placebo effect is and what its relation to the nocebo
Okay,
effect
so the
is?
placebo effect is positive effects for medication. Typically, the typical example / explanation is people in a control group get a sugar pill. They take that sugar pill, and because they're told that it has positive effects, their body actually works to produce those positive effects without medication.
So you would have a group A and a group B.
Yeah.
One group would be given the real
Medication,
medication.
the
Group
other-
B would not. But group B might actually see results where group A won't.
Yeah, it's called the placebo effect.
Yes.
I think
And
that's
the
pretty-
nocebo effect.
The nocebo effect is exactly the same concept, where there's nothing negative. There's no negative effects actually happening, but because people have been told through books like Wheat Belly and the like, gluten's bad and all these like
You'll feel like shit.
You'll feel like shit, and if you stop eating gluten, then all of a sudden you'll have all this energy and et cetera, et cetera. It's actually the nocebo effect working. So these negative effects that people are told that gluten has, their brains are kind of like, oh yeah, actually when I eat gluten, now that you say something, when I eat gluten, I feel all bloated and
It's incredible. If we could harness that kind of mind power and put
Yeah.
it to something useful, it's incredible, because people will actually make themselves sick. Sit on WebMD,
And
make themselves sick.
Oh,
it's
I got
like
cancer. I got cancer. It's like, oh, what a surprise! You have cancer. You're thinking about having cancer for weeks on end, and then, oh, surprise, surprise.
it's like This Is the End. Seth Rogen's talking to Jay Baruchel, and then Jay Baruchel's, oh, let's go to what's the restaurant in the United States, some burger joint. And anyways, then Seth Rogen's like, no, I can't go. I'm cutting gluten out of my life.
It's like
And then Jay Baruchel's like, why the fuck are you cutting gluten out of your life? He's like, didn't you hear gluten's awful? And then Jay Baruchel's like, can you tell me what gluten is? And then Seth Rogen's like, yeah, fat's a gluten, sugar's a gluten, all those bad things, those are all gluten. And my dad, who's a medical doctor, he gets really pissed off because it's like, anything that's like uninformed, like when people are uninformed about their health and just do things because it's the popular trend and it has nothing to do with your health, and then people come to him and they're like, should I cut gluten out of my life? He's like, how the fuck should I know? Go take some tests, see if you're allergic to gluten, then see. But it's like the amount of people who claim to be allergic to gluten versus the amount of people who are actually allergic to gluten is horrifying.
Well, the thing is, I knew from the beginning this was just a fad and kind of bullshit because when, I don't know, like super small percentage of people are actually celiac.
Yeah.
We didn't go from having, well, I'm pulling a number out of my ass here, like 15% of people, then that's high, being celiac to overnight, or not overnight, but like the equivalent of that, 2 years, 3 years, going from 15% to now all of a sudden everybody has gluten sensitivity and you should stop eating gluten because it's bad for everybody.
It's
No.
like
No.
What do the kids have? Everyone's got hyperactive disorder. What am I looking at?
ADHD.
Yeah, every child has ADHD overnight in one generation.
Every child has ADHD.
Every child has ADHD.
Yeah.
Everyone's gluten sensitive.
Everybody's depressed. Everybody's ADHD.
Asthma. Everyone has.
Everybody's asthma.
Oh.
Everything.
The other thing that pisses me off is the self-diagnosis of mental illnesses. And I think that it's very important to spread awareness about mental illness, get rid of the stigma for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But with things like WebMD and all these like resources that
I'm clinically depressed. I have
exactly
personality disorder. I'm bipolar.
It's like, oh, who'd you go see? Oh no, I went online and I checked. I have all the symptoms.
I'm almost certain that more than 60% of 16-year-old girls they're all bipolar.
Mm. These days, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's that, and just the whole, I self-diagnosed myself as autism spectrum. So I have Asperger's, so I can just be an asshole because, it's not me, it's my Asperger's. Yeah. It's like, no, you dickhead, there are people with actually have that
That's
disease.
what pisses me off the most, is that I respect
the
challenge that real people face, and when you I have that too. Well,
no, you don't.
No.
Don't put struggle in your life that isn't there.
Yeah.
That's such
true.
If your life, there are people, your life is too good, and people don't feel sympathy for you because your things are going too well. So I gotta create something. Instead of propelling yourself forward, propel yourself backwards, and then have people pull you forward. It feels so good.
And now it's going to take a serious turn when I bring up this thing. I think that generally, as a whole, society has kind of created this culture, I guess, of it being positive to be a victim, like victimization. You get attention and all these you get all the payoff for being a victim is very high.
Yeah, absolutely.
In sympathy and attention, and I'm not. I'm not saying we should assume that everyone who says that they're a victim is lying to get attention, but I think it's pretty easy to distinguish when someone is and when someone isn't in most cases. Absolutely.
In that case, I'll give you the sympathy. I'll give you the. Why does my mind keep blanking? What I'll give me for someone. What do you call that? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But you should feel like a piece of shit to the people who are actually dealing with said problem.
Yeah, you should feel like shit. It's like our parents' generation, they had problems. And then people would be like, maybe you're depressed. And then they would be like, no, I'm not fucking depressed. There's nothing weird about me. I'm normal. And then they would fight through it. Our parents' generation, everybody, it was like, there were so many people who were depressed and shit, and they just fought through it. And they were just like, I'm normal. Our generation, it's like you're normal. No, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up. Look how fucked up I am. I can stay home all day and not do anything because look how I'm so depressed and it's like we took the exact opposite step. It's like our parents' generation, they were so resistant that they were so scared of this resistance that to our generation it was like if you have feelings, tell me about all your feelings, and then it's completely the opposite.
I do appreciate emotion, and I do pity men who I'm way too tough to show emotion, but at the same time, give a bit of it a rest. Yes, you have feelings, and I appreciate the hell out of them, but keep it to yourself sometimes.
Happy medium.
I think we've got
happy medium.
The pendulum just swung too far in the other direction.
We were perfect for
like there's this whole like grandparents generation where it's like people, not only men but everyone, you're silent about your problems.
Yeah, don't you,
John Wayne? Don't you talk like the Hank Hill? It's like when you have a feeling, you stuff it deep down inside, and then the other character's like, but it hurts. Yeah, and then you take that feeling and you stuff it down too.
Yeah.
Just stuff the feelings. Just keep stuffing your feelings down. Like obviously that's not healthy.
No.
But I think that there's
Becoming a victim is not the answer.
more or less, and we've just swung too far the other way. It's just so easy and convenient to be the victim of something, the victim of your circumstances, and
It's like you try your hardest to work through your problems. You cannot work through your problems, and there is a limit. It's like some people take it too far, where it's like I'm morbidly depressed, and then he's like I'm not depressed, and then they end up killing themselves. But I mean, like, you got to know your limits, and you got to be like you work on your own problems by yourself, and you try your hardest, and then if you reach the limit where it's like you actually need help,
Go get help.
go find help. It just seems to me that people jump the gun, and they don't even try to fix their own problems.
Or there isn't a problem to fix.
Or there's no problem to fix. But I mean, yeah.
Well,
I
think. Sorry, I totally cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to move ahead at next. So go ahead.
I was just going to say that I think that the big thing for me is no matter what your circumstances are, they're your circumstances, and it's your life, so it's your responsibility to deal with it how you're going to deal with it. And what I can't stand is the helplessness that a lot of people have, and
it's such
blaming,
a waste of
helplessness and blaming. Like, it's your life. If there's something that's not going wrong, obviously extreme circumstances
do
exist, but they're your circumstances to deal with.
Yeah. And I'm going to segue us now into a bit of a more positive topic. An article I read online today of a 19-year-old boy that took his 83-year-old great-grandmother to prom.
Why did he take his grade?
So he had a conversation with his grandmother 2 weeks previous to his prom, and they had been talking about prom because the topic had been brought up. And she had said, when I was a young girl, I couldn't go to prom. We didn't have such luxuries. And it's one of those tough stories where I don't know if he's maybe if I do this, I'll get on the news. Hopefully, it's genuine. I'm gonna take it at face value and say it's genuine. And
I'm gonna say it's genuine. The risk there and the reward. It's like you have no idea if people are gonna pick it up or not. And the risk there, he's probably being genuine.
So he took his grandmother to prom, and then obviously the new article sparked. But I think that's a beautiful thing. I remember our prom, our graduation. I invited most of my friends' mothers up to dance on the dance floor because that was something that from a small town, that's what you do. That's what you do during prom. Grad. We have grad in Canada, I guess. So you invite your mother up, and I dance with my mother, and all my siblings dance with their parents, and all the students at school were kind of looking at me weird. It's like, I'm not comfortable with something. I was like, well, fuck you. That's what I'm doing. And that's something I hold dear, and if that guy wants to do it with his grandmother and bring her, go for it. Be my guest.
And I think that what you're talking about there with the whole dancing thing, I think that's very much a small town culture thing, where if there's a dance, everyone goes to the dance because it's this big deal that the community is putting on this event, and everyone should go and have a good time. Yeah. And that's great. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that mentality. It's
it just doesn't transfer over.
All about community, really. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good attitude to have. It's respect for people who came before you, and that's just important. That's respect for history, and that's just important.
And that actually, sorry, I totally cut you off. Total shameless plug for our own work right now. That really segues nicely into what Mark Butler is trying to do with Dog Patch, and how he's kind of noticed this trend where we're moving away from community, and ironically, in the age of social media, kind of disconnecting. It's like this illusion of being really connected, when in fact you don't actually have any real interaction with people. So what he's trying to promote is all these small town values, bringing them back, and getting people to kind of drop the walls down and enjoy a weekend of connecting with other people and some awesome music.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, that is awesome. And yes, so
Dog Patch Music Festival, check it out on
wait for
website,
that documentary.
Facebook.
It's gonna blow your minds off.
3 years of filming. We're gonna do some awesome stuff.
So it was just that whole prom thing and taking weird people to prom reminds me of this really funny picture I saw on Reddit one time, and it was white guy, black guy, and an Asian guy, and then the Asian guy had a black date, the white guy had an Asian date, and then the Asian guy had a white date, and then the caption, it was just a picture of the caption was, look at these three best friends, they each took each other's sisters to prom.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny.
So we're at the 33-minute mark. At least I am on my camera. I think I was a little bit ahead of you guys. We'll be really close to half hour. So I think this is a good time for our new podcast tradition, I believe, of Would You Rather.
Oh,
so
great.
Each of us are going to pose a Would You Rather question to one another. We haven't heard the question beforehand. You're going to get a first-hand reaction. Mine's a little bit less outrageous. Apparently, these guys have something a little bit more cooked up. But I'm going to ask mine first because I'm actually interested to find out. And we'll gauge the reactions. And I believe as this thing goes on, things are going to get a little more weird. But we'll work you into it so nobody gets too offended or blown away right away.
Just hold on for 10 seconds. I'm just going to restart that camera because it's going to...
There we go.
And we're back doing some would you rather's here. That was.
So I wrote this down in jot form, so I just need to. It's a question for Francois. Okay. So this is a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one for you. So first of all, I'm gonna segue this by saying Francois Denishin fucking loves Peter Jackson. We all know it. He loves the Lord of the Rings, but how much does he love the Lord of the Rings? So, are we ready for this? Are we ready for this?
I don't know.
Would you rather go back to 2001 and meet Peter Jackson?
Okay.
You're your age now,
Okay, sweet.
and he invites you to join him to shoot the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
You get to be on set with him the entire time. Upon conclusion of the movie, Peter Jackson is killed, and the rest of the movies can't be directed by him. Or, question B. Would you rather be? You meet Peter Jackson at 2001 before the first shooting of the Lord of the Rings. He meets you. He tells you that he's not interested in working with you at all and that he hates you. You'll never be anything. And then as you step out of the studio, you are killed.
I would take my own death.
I thought as much, but I know how much you cherish your own mortality. I'm surprised you answered so quickly.
So, actually, let me just backtrack here for a second. So you're basically saying in the one scenario, I'm super happy, I got to meet Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings is directed, but then he's killed. The Lord of the Rings exists, though.
Yes, and
in
you
this
got...
scenario.
No, just the Fellowship of the Ring.
I would take my own death.
Just the Fellowship, and
I
then
would take my own death.
and then he dies, but you had this beautiful
So
moment.
in one scenario, the Lord of the Rings exists, and in another scenario, only the Fellowship of the Ring exists.
Only Fellowship exists, but you get to be on set the entire time and have that beautiful experience. You can kill yourself right after, and then not... Because here's the thing. You don't know the rest of the movies. In this world, all you know is...
No, but that's not about me. It's about the rest of the world and gifting the rest of the world the greatest gift that has ever been given.
But you don't know that. You don't know about the other movies.
But he
No,
does.
of course
But
I
he
do,
does
because-
because he's answered the question right now. So that's not really a factor that you can.
No, but I mean, what do you mean? It's like there's 3 books. Of course I know if they're making the Fellowship of the Ring, they're going to make 2 other ones.
Okay, I guess you don't know the success of the movie or how it's going to turn
No, I don't, but I'm... Of course, at the time, like, I've said it before the Lord of the Rings ever came out, I've said, had you told me Peter Jackson was going to direct them, and I wasn't a huge Lord of the Rings fan anyways, but let's say I was a big Lord of the Rings fan of the books, and you told me Peter Jackson was going to direct them,
fair enough.
I would have said, fuck you, Peter Jackson, what has he done? He's done nothing.
This you goes back.
If this me goes back, I would take my own death, so that the rest of the world...
But just before you die, Peter Jackson denounces you as a human being, so as you fucking pull the trigger, or as the trigger's pulled on you, your last thought is, my greatest idol said to me, you weren't enough. You didn't have what it takes.
Just so the rest of the world can have the Lord of the Rings.
Goodbye.
Just so the rest of the world can have the Lord of the Rings, I would take my own death.
That's
noble.
nope.
I wouldn't do it for anything else. There's literally not another thing in history that I would do that for, except for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I cherish.
Coca-Cola?
I won't do it for Coca-Cola. I mean, I love Coca-Cola, and like if Coca-Cola disappeared tomorrow, life wouldn't really be worth living anymore. I mean, I would still live, but I mean, my quality of life would go down a good 83% probably.
Wow.
But all I'm trying to say is, the only thing I cherish more than Peter Jackson himself is the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It is the driving force behind my entire life, and I will stand behind that for the rest of my days.
Well.
Okay, well, I appreciate you answering that, and we'll move on to Andrew next.
Okay, this is posed to both of you.
I think you got to pick one.
No, you post to both.
Yeah, but
It's too perfect.
okay.
Just don't take too long to answer. If it's
Okay. It's very silly. I'll warn you. It's a very silly question.
I like the silly ones.
yeah, me too.
Would you rather eat a poop flavored fudgesicle or a fudge flavored poopsicle?
Fudge flavored poopsicle.
Yeah, flesh flavored poops.
But then you have to actually eat a log of shit that is flavored like fudge, but it's actual shit.
Yeah,
Or-
but I mean, I'm fine with that. It's like I'm. It's
Really?
not, if shit
Okay.
tasted good, I would eat shit. If
Yeah.
the thing shit tastes, it doesn't taste good.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'll give you an
Some
instance here.
some people though the sight factor is almost worse than the.
So
taste.
I'll give you an instance here.
Yeah.
My girlfriend Kelsey and I, who I've described in that podcast, were walking into my apartment. I used to live on, I don't know what, some fucking circle anyway. Gurgillis. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I live in the top floor of an apartment building. And I dropped something on the ground that I was eating, or something that was supposed to make contact with my mouth after dropping it on the ground. And she said, "Ew, that's gross. Don't eat that." And so when we stepped in the apartment building, and there's no exaggeration here, I stopped at the bottom of the stairs, I took my tongue out and I flattened it as flat as I could, and I placed it on the railing up on the apartment building.
Whoa.
And I left my tongue and walked all the way at the top of the stairs with my tongue on the railing to prove to her that I didn't give a fuck.
I'm right with you. People
Yeah.
these days with the whole Purelling all the time and like not eating food that hit the ground. It's like your ancestors would be ashamed of you.
Okay, yeah, maybe the railing thing is maybe. Comment below. Actually, live tweet us. Anyway, that's the inside joke. But comment below if you do watch this video and tell us: would you lick a fucking railing?
I think you're a hero for doing that. I do.
Yeah, I agree.
I would have done it too. Just to prove a point.
Thank you
I
very
think
much.
you were 100% right in your decision there. I think people are way too germophobic these days, and I think it's doing more wrong than it's doing good.
I also think that like all these, I keep saying like really gotta stop. I gotta stop pointing it out. Anyways, parents specifically, putting their children in these very sterile, germ-free environments. The number of people with allergies, food allergies, is rising. There's no scientific correlation that I know of, but I think I have every reason to believe. I think. That's
I think
causing
so
it.
as well.
And the whole anti-vaccine thing. We're not even gonna get started on that because it's asinine if you believe that you are a terrible human being. I'm sorry, you are not a good person. Get your facts straight.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, this is just me, and it's a little case study. I've got two sisters, and when we were growing up, when I was sick, I don't know if it was just a boy-girl thing, but my parents would just be like, "You're not sick. You're fine. You be good. You're fine. You just fight through it."
Yeah.
My sisters, though, they get a little bit sick. Medicine. There's so much medicine. And now, 20 years later, when I don't get sick ever, I maybe get sick once a year, and it's semi-serious for like 3 days. That's it. Once a year maximum. Usually don't get sick. My sister's sick all the fucking time. All the time.
No, I totally agree.
And a little case study. A little bit of
And
science.
so, Francois, now let's have yours. I don't know if you're gonna post the one or both.
So I'm just gonna ask the question I had right before that I told you already, just because I didn't have enough time to come up with another one. The question I asked them, they didn't really have a chance to answer. So but anyways, the question I asked you guys was, would you rather? Okay, let's say you guys have pets. Would you rather eat your own pet? But here's the thing: it's delivered to you in a nice vacuum sealed bag. That the meat is all cut up. There's no bones. There's no fur. It's like what's the word? Like mass produced. Like something that's so.
And we have to cook the
Yeah,
meat.
yeah, you can cook it, or you can get it in a cooked format, like a beef jerky, if you'd like. But it's basically, it cannot give you disease. It's perfect. It's been cooked, and it's beautiful. It's safe, but it's your pet that you've had
Okay, we
for
need
your
to
entire life.
specify here because one type of pet I will crack their skull myself. The other type of pet,
No. A pet you love is what I'm saying. Like a pet that you care about. This wouldn't even matter if it wasn't a pet you cared. If it's a pet you hate, then fuck it. But this is a pet you love. Think about a pet that you
It has to
had.
be a dog.
Think about a pet that you've had that you've loved very dearly. All right, now the other option is, so yeah, you can eat your own pet, and it's dead. Other option is, you can eat your friend's pet, but you have to. You have to, but you have to find it, kill it, skin it, clean it, and all that stuff. No one will ever find out, but you have to do those things. But you don't have to eat your own pet, and your own pet is still alive.
That's such a fucked up question.
Okay, is my friend's pet a pet that I like too?
No.
Is my friend's pet's a cat? I'll just fucking kill the thing and eat it, no problem.
Let's say it's a dog, but you don't have any attachment to it.
It's gotta be a shitty dog. I eat a shit dog. I need.
No, but that's not the
Oh,
point.
teacup poodle.
They're both dogs. They're the same. They're both dogs. They're the same breed of dog, but you
Let's
love
think
your
No,
dog.
that stuff. I'm totally based on appearance. I'm the worst for. I don't like when penguins get oil spilt on them because they're cute, but when other animals die, I'm shit.
But I'm just saying,
It's like four penguins
you
get
love
oils.
the one, and you don't love the other one
No, but I also love the other one because I just love them.
in general.
I like.
But the one you've had memories with and attachment to, and like, come on, think about it. I mean, killing and cleaning an animal, like, to me, it's all about the killing and cleaning and stuff. It's like,
It's all with the emotions.
I think I would eat my own pet just because I don't want to kill and clean. And
No,
do
see
all
that
stuff.
it has nothing to do with that for me. I'll clean and prepare it, no problem. It doesn't bother me.
I feel like for me it would be very much like
I got no fear.
Jason Segel in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he gets him trying to get him to kill the pig. And he's I'm so sorry. He's stabbing the pig. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm with you, Fran. I think the easier option would be because you don't actually have to see the death of your own. You don't have to see anything.
And you can
just had his dead. Now you have to eat it.
Yeah, it's like
No, I can't. The emotional attachment's too strong.
You have to choose one. Just choose one that are random.
See, I'm really bad here because Kelsey really loves animals and would fucking go nuts if we had an animal. We can't have an animal. It's not logical, not reasonable, not feasible. But fuck, if we got a dog, like, I would just be so fucking
Happy.
I'd be like, fucking, it's like I'd have a bunch of little fucking kitties, except they'd be puppies, and I love puppies. This one's called Vince the Prince, because it's so fucking hard. But no, I don't know, I can't. It would be like, I can't move my fucking dog. Is my dog old? Is it an old dog?
No, they're the same age, they're the same breed, they're the same everything.
But that makes a difference. If it's my dog that's old.
No, but that's not the stipulation. That I'm telling you exactly what the stipulations are.
You and your friend got two puppies from the same
identical.
litter.
They are
And
identical.
are they young
twins.
puppies?
No, they're the
If
same
it's an
age.
old dog, then I'll kill it because it's going to die soon anyway.
They're both old though. So
They're middle aged. They're perfectly middle aged.
Like still pretty, like we can still play.
Perfectly
have
middle
lots of
aged. They're in
memories
the
together,
exact middle of their life.
and we get lots of fun.
Yes,
together.
lots of fun, and they're not. Nothing's gone wrong yet. 3 years from now, stuff's gonna start going wrong.
Let's just say it. Do I have to kill Chocolate?
Chocolate. My dog?
It's your friend's dog.
Oh, yeah. You have to kill Chocolate, I guess.
See, that's not like I freaking like Chocolate. I like him a lot. Like, I really freaking like him.
Very good.
You would have to kill Chocolate.
Like I don't think I'd kill Princess. Swords also have this little dog. Little dog.
Small dog.
A small dog. I don't think I'd kill Princess.
That was the funniest thing. We used to have a giant schnauzer, and we still have a miniature
That's
schnauzer.
her soul.
Yeah, and the first time that Brad saw them was like, "Hey, there's a small one and a big one," and hey, small dog,
Yeah.
small dog, come over here, and then
And then
Princess would run.
Andrew's sister was named Maddie. She's like, that one's called Princess. I was like, no, that's small dog.
yeah, small dog.
But like, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
like I think about it, and I'm seeing Chocolate's face, and I'm seeing Prince eat pie, like small dog, and then I'm seeing my own dog, which I don't even have, for Christ's sakes, and I'm seeing his face. Oh, I don't kill you. I want you to die, but you gotta make me die. Does the death have to be like? Do I have to kill it? Like, can I close my eyes and swing a shovel?
You can do whatever you want.
But I gotta prepare it. Like the death is so real.
Like you have to kill it, and then you have to also. I mean, you are the one who prepared. Like, so if you're fine with like grilling up just a corpse of a dog and eating it without skinning it or anything.
Oh, I can prepare
You
it.
could.
That's not a problem. I can prepare it. I can prepare it beautifully.
That's the thing. It's like you can kill it however you want. You can put it in a
Once it's-
you can put it in a steel box that's got no air in it and just seal it off and wait till it suffocates to death.
See, the
You can do
preparing is not
anything.
the tough part.
No, I'm not saying prepare. I'm
It's
just
the
saying you can
killing it.
kill it however you want.
It's the killing. Because once it's dead.
You don't have to watch it die. You could put it in a little chamber and then close
Oh,
the
but
door
maybe
and
that-
fill it with gas.
No,
Ooh.
not chalky.
You can do whatever you want. I told you straight up. I would rather eat chocolate than have to kill and prepare a dog that's the exact same. That's my friend's. I would rather
But
kill
chocolate.
chocolate. I know. I love that dog. I love that dog to death.
Mm.
But I mean, like, I would eat him rather than prepare another.
Like, here's the other thing. I have my own dog prepared. Kelsey comes home. I'm frying dog steaks.
No. That's the whole thing. No one will find out. No one will ever
Either
know
way,
you did it.
either
She
way.
would smell
Either
it
way,
on my breath.
no. The stipulation of the question, no one will ever know. You are the only person who knows.
It's not about a guilt thing for me with other people. I don't give a shit what other
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying no one will ever know. You will never get caught. You will never go to prison for animal cruelty. No one will ever think less of you for killing a dog. Nothing. None of that. No one will know. You're the only person.
Fuck,
Pick.
and like, this isn't even a real thing. I don't actually have to do this. I can say anything.
Yeah.
But I'm so morally bound. My ethics are so strong.
Well, pick one.
Thank you,
Your
Christianity.
ethics.
Thank you, Westernism. Fucking
Your ethics. because it's a dog.
Do I kill
That's his ethics. It's like a cat, kill it. Anything else, kill it.
But it's like my cat with so many. Yeah, here's the story. I'll wrap up right after this. Friend of mine's changing some electrical stuff. Really not part of the story, but I just like to add that piece of exposition.
Yeah.
Dad walks out of the barn with 2 kittens. Kittens have got distemper. Distemper is a disease where the cats start losing motor function skills. You'll see farm cats get a lot of time their eyes crust over and get puffy, and they're like still pretty cute, and they're meowing. They're just little baby kitties, like eyes are barely open. Dad walks in the barn, one with each hand. Meow, meow. Dad takes a thumb, neck, walks over to the fire pit, throws them in, gets a jug of gas, pours it on him, probably struck a match on his jeans, throws her in the fire, and lights the bitches up. That man could just kill both dogs, prepare them himself, and then have his friends over to eat.
A nice meal.
Like, he's a piece of shit.
Oh,
I'm a little bit different.
Jeez, that was.
we love you, Gary. Me and Andrew love you.
I have my
very
dog
much.
prepared for me, and then I eat it. I give it a death as the First Nations did. I respect it and thank it
Honor
for
its
its
spirit.
thank you for its sacrifice.
Like Avatar style. Like
Yeah.
you slowly slide the knife in so it strikes its heart, so it basically bleeds out instantaneously, and then while you're doing that, you pray to its soul to release to heaven.
Yes, and then as I'm eating, I thank it for the feast and for the nourishment, and I ensure that I'm good and hungry. This isn't.
And you use
This-
every piece of that.
Like,
You're not just eating to eat.
Yeah,
You're
I don't just
actually,
come
yeah.
home drunk and I want to fuck and I fucking cook this. I've got old dog steaks in the fridge, so I fire the grill up.
And
A
they're
little bit of
just
salt
well
and pepper, some olive oil, a little bit of fucking already some pre-minced garlic on
You're
there.
drunk doing this?
Yeah, I'm searing them quick. I hit them with a little bit more rock salt before they're done. I plate them, tinfoil over top to make sure that they cure a little bit more and really get the juice to set in. Sit down, beautiful little dinner. I light a fucking candle and I eat the shit out of them. Maybe. But,
You got Boston there. Light a
Whatever.
fucking candle. Maybe.
fuck it.
You know what this is? This is my new fucking
This is my new
haircut.
fucking
You know what
haircut.
that means?
We get some fucking puss each. And as things progress and our creative content becomes a little bit more free, we're probably going to use a little bit more liberal language. However, I believe circumstantially certain things are sacred. For instance, I would not tell a Holocaust survivor. I wouldn't.
And I know, this is exactly what I was going to say. There is a time and place for things.
To exercise your free speech.
Around you guys, I will say fucking anything.
And
I will say everything.
If we
And I
say-
have said everything, and I've said anything in front of you guys. I have friends who are all these issues, like you said, the Holocaust. I have Jewish friends. I have African American friends. I have a lot of friends who are all. I have gay friends. I have friends from all denominations. I'm not going to use offensive language that they might find offensive in front of them. Why would I do that? It's like, will I? If they ask me, "Have you said that word?" I would tell them, "Yes, I have said it," but I will not say it in front of you.
Or just
if it
because
offends
you
you.
have them on Facebook doesn't mean you're not going to post a video where you say maybe a word like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, and at the end of the day, it's what then they just have to know. You don't have to watch my content if you're my these are for my friends. If my language offends you, please don't watch my content. Like I'm just asking you not to watch it because I'm going to use those words.
We would appreciate if you could get past the fact that we're using anytime we use offensive language, it's in jest.
No, that's the thing, and
We don't
I've had
appreciate-
this conversation many times with people, many times, because at Vancouver Film School, it's a big issue when it comes to censorship and when you make films. And my whole thing is, I am not a racist. I am not a sexist. I'm not homophobic. I think homophobia is fucking ridiculous. I think sexism is fucking ridiculous. I think that racism is fucking ridiculous. And the only reason I laugh at someone using a derogatory term is because I'm laughing at the idea that people actually thought that you were lesser because you were a woman or because you were gay or because you were black. I'm laughing at the fact that somebody said that to somebody once and meant it. It's like, you were actually serious about that one time. I'm laughing at that idea. I'm not laughing at the people, the play of the people. That's not what I'm laughing at. I think the best way to destroy power and to destroy corrupted power is through jest, through comedy. Sorry, I'm getting very passionate. I'm speaking very loud.
No, it's just the mic.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're speaking very loudly, and you're also starting to get very
No,
Shakespearean.
I appreciate.
Thou farewell, I shall not.
No, I
condone
really
the actions
appreciate it.
of- I totally agree with you. Though.
I totally, yeah.
And so
absolutely
I hope that our friends who are watching this And if you're offended, know that we
Everything is a jest.
Free speech to us is the most important thing at the end of the day. And I shouldn't speak for all of us. I believe that anybody should be able to say anything all the time. I honestly believe in any situation you should not be reprimanded for what you say. But at the end of the day, it comes down to bloody stupidity and common sense.
Yeah.
And there is a time and place for things, and you have to use you have to use your fucking brain. And these kids that you're talking about are fucking idiots. And that's at the end of the day, I don't think they should go to jail. I don't think they should get punished. I don't think they should be expelled. But they are fucking idiots, and everybody should know that they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But I think. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Judgment will come to them in the form that
They put that on Facebook, so now everyone's going to judge him for it.
I don't
Exactly.
even care if I bake you a cake and we put it in the house and we have an inside joke about you sucking a nigger's dick and that we think that's funny. Don't bring it on the public campus. Don't post it on Facebook, and especially not if you're not willing to deal with the consequences.
Backlash, yeah.
That's the thing, and that's another issue I've ran into a lot of times. People these days, when you say something, like rumors are a big thing. It's like you'll say something like, "I heard you said this." That you know what the person you're talking to will ask you? They'll not tell you if that's true. First thing they ask you, "Who told you that?" It's like that's not the issue here. It's like if somebody comes up to me and asks me, it's like, let's say I said something really off key to a friend of mine, like I said, "This guy's a dick," and that guy comes up to me and he says, "Did you call me a dick?" I'm not going to say, "Who told you that?" I'm going to say, "Yes, I said that."
Or
Like,
no, if you didn't.
And no if I didn't. Like, that's it. That's the issue. Tell the truth. Like, why the fuck does it matter who told who? You said that. Take responsibility for your actions. I don't care if somebody you trust so much said it. I don't give a fuck who it was. At the end of the day, you said that thing. You have to own up to it.
Well,
It doesn't matter who said it.
I would say that there's two issues there potentially. The first is that, okay, you said that, so own up to it. The second is if you pulled the person aside and you're like, "I'm telling you this in confidence, I see someone to talk to, so and so is a fucking dick, and I can't handle
No,
it."
totally,
anymore."
I agree.
Boom. Then there's two issues there because, okay, yeah, I said that, and then you go and talk to whoever betrayed your trust, and that's a totally separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still your responsibility to take.
No, I think so, but I just at the end of the day, people always make it the issue is always who said it, not I not owning up to it. That's the problem. And at the end of the day, it's like you have to. It's not up to that guy to rat on the other because then it's just who ratted on who ratted on who ratted. It never. It's a cycle that never fucking ends. At the end of the day, you own up to that issue. I said that. That guy's like, okay. Then you say, I apologize. I didn't mean it. It was a moment of passion. Or if you did mean it, do that. But that's always a more aggressive stance.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you don't ask that person who said it. You don't. That's none of your business who ratted on you. And then if you want to find out at the end of the day, you think about who you said that to, and then you go ask that person, did you say that to that person? And then they're probably going to say, no, I didn't. And that's their choice too. If they don't want to own up to it, then they're dirty rats, and that's it.
So here's the other thing in talking about the offensive language. And I don't want this to off-put anyone, but if we put a camera up in this corner with really good audio and you heard some of the shit we said, you might be a little bit put off.
Yeah.
But that's all our own business. And and I believe in that freedom of speech.
Well,
and like we said, time and a place. If I want to say it in the privacy of my own home, I'll go ahead and do that.
Behind closed doors, everybody's Satan. So, I mean.
I think the thing with our content is that part of the type of humor that we enjoy is shocking comedy.
Yeah.
Something
We like to be shocked.
It's a genre, and I think I just love this quote from Stephen Fry. I think it sums everything up very nicely. So the quote is, "It's now very common to hear people say, 'I'm rather offended by that,' as if it gives them certain rights. It's actually nothing more. It's simply a wine. It's no more than a wine. I find that offensive. It has no meaning. It has no purpose. It has no reason to be respected as a phrase. I'm offended by that. Well, so fucking what?"
Yeah, I really like that.
No, I agree too. And we have about 1:20 left on my timer here, so we might as well wrap it up and say goodbye.
Yeah, anyway, well, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Like we said in the past, you can like us on Facebook, appreciate that. If you want to make a YouTube channel and subscribe to us, we'd really appreciate that as well. But if you want to enjoy our content on Facebook alone, we're not going to pressure you into it. But we do like likes, comments, and I said before with the Let's Play, or the Brad Plays Let's Play. If you give me 5 comments, 25 likes, and 500 views, then I'll do it again. 500 views seems a bit high, but yeah, share it with your friends and see if we can get there. Anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later, guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.